It's here. It's finally arrived. The new Dirtyboy amps, pedals, and cabinets for Two Notes GENOME software. I'm really excited about this, and I'll tell you why. I love the Dirtyboy stuff, and I didn't know about GENOME until the guys at Dirtyboy actually told me about it, and they asked me if I would like to kind of test the new Dirtyboy components and if I would do a video for the release date, and also if I would make some presets to go on that release, which I did, and they're the ones that I'm using in this video. I'm incredibly excited about this. It sounds fantastic. Like really good. I would go as far as to say that the GENOME software that Two Notes have made is the best modeling software for your computer on the market. I've tried a bunch of stuff, and this is the best, I think, in my opinion. Okay. Not only does it sound fantastic, they've really nailed the feel of the stuff. I own a bit of the stuff that is in here, and it feels like playing the actual analog hardware itself. It responds to your playing really well. It responds to the volume control. And so I think they've done a really fantastic job with it, and I wouldn't be doing a video on it if I didn't think it was super cool. So the new Dirtyboy stuff that has come out in there, they've got let's see real quick. So there's a bunch of new pedals. They got the Afro-Fuzz, the Germanium Boy, the Buzzy Boy. These are all pedals. They've also got the Preamp pedal that Dirtyboy do, which it's really cool. Everyone's really in love with that pedal at the moment. And there is also a brand new SilverBOy amp. Yes, that's right. Dirtyboy have done an amp in this thing. It's called the SilverBOy, and it's kind of like the preamp with a 6L6 power section in there. Still comes with the variac in there, so you can get all them squishy tones with the extra harmonic content, and really dial it down to, fuzzy chaos, Also in there is 3 brand new cabinets. There is the 112 cabinet that accompanies the SilverBOy, which I believe has a Celestion Gold in there. I really like that cabinet. That's a really good sounding 112. There's the 412 in there. I believe it comes with greenbacks. And then there is a oversized 2x12. And that one has the best graphics of all because it looks completely destroyed. But all of them sound really good. So in just a second, let's go and check out all of that stuff. They're also in the presets that I made for the GENOME software. And if you want to go check them out, make sure you head over to Two Notes website and check out the Dirtyboy section on their website, and you can give it a trial. And if you like it, go ahead and buy it. All right. Okay, so here's a couple of clips of the Afro-Fuzz. Let's go for a fatter sound. Here's an even fatter one. All right, let's check out another one. Okay, so here we are checking out the Germanium Fuzz, and we're going to have just a couple of different settings on there. So this is a kind of thin one. Let's try something the next notch up. Let's try the next one up from there. All right, let's see if it gets a little fatter. All right, now there is 12 settings on there, and they go from fatter to brighter, the idea being that you can kind of tune the frequency to whatever your instrument is. I know a lot of people and producers use this pedal on multiple different instruments, guitars, basses, even drums. So have a play around with that. That one's a super useful one. Let's check out something else. Okay, so here we're going with the Buzzy Boy pedal. Now this one is all about the fizz and not so much the fuzz. So let's start with something kind of thin, and we'll see about fattening it up a little bit. So this is... Let's see what we can tweak on there. So I just turned up the timbre setting, which that is supposed to be like the tone, but let's see what it did. I turned that up to about noon. There's also a frequency setting, so let's see what that does. That's on frequency 2 now. Pretty cool. Let's see what frequency 3 does. Pretty cool. I do love this pedal. Let's see what else they got. Okay, so here we go with the Dirtyboy preamp. Now I've got it set right now for the gain is maybe around 9 o'clock, 9:30, something like that. The tone is probably around 1, and the variac is all the way up, and I do have it on 9 volts. And that sounds like this. Now let's turn that gain up a little bit. Woo! Now if we turn down that variac a little bit, things are going to get a little squishier. There's going to be a little more harmonic content, as it kind of essentially sorts to like starve the power section of some voltage. This is with the variac at 4. And of course, anyone who's tried this pedal in person loves to see how far down you can get that variac and really turn it into some fuzzy, super cool sounds. Let's see about doing that. This pedal is one of the greatest fuzz pedals of all time. I love that. All right, and last but not least, let's check out the SilverBOy amp. I'm going to save the cabinets so that you can hear them in the songs when I show you them. All right, but let's check out that SilverBOy. Okay, so here is the SilverBOy amp, which is kind of like the preamp pedal with a 6L6 power section. So this is with the gain on 1. I also have the volume, the master volume for the amp on full blast. We'll get some kind of nice sound, especially with single coils. But if you're trying to be dirty, we ain't really talking about doing clean, right? So let's turn that gain up a little bit. Here's with the gain at about 3. I should mention I've got the EQ set all at noon. Now, where I think this amp really shines is the mid-range control, so let's give that a little bump. I got the mid at around 7 now. And let's turn that gain up a little more and see how far we can get it. This is with the gain at 5. That's a pretty great rock sound. It's probably a little more gain than I'm, kind of would use on something, but it's about as much gain as I would ever use. Maybe, we'll see. But let's keep going with the gain and see what happens there. 7. Let's see what the treble does and brighten it up a little tiny bit. Let's get that variac involved, okay? All right, I love that. Let's turn that variac down just a little bit more and see if it can still do the same thing as what the preamp did. It's getting there. and it's really starving there. All right, let's go check out some tracks with all this stuff in use. See you then. So that is the new Dirtyboy components added to the Genome software library by Two Notes. Please make sure you go check it out. Go visit Two Notes website on the internet. I'll put a link below in the description. I would love it if you check it out, especially the Dirtyboy stuff and my presets. Let me know in the comments if you do check them out, what you thought, but only good stuff. Okay. And I've been Danny Werner, and I will see you next time with something new. See you then. Bye-bye.